His name was Mr. Ben Rivera. He worked in shipping at a large warehouse on the edge of town, always early, always focused, quiet, but polite. He didn't talk much, didn't complain, didn't joke around in the break room, never gossiped, never took long phone calls. But everyone knew one thing for sure: he never took a lunch break. For 3 years he showed up at 6 a.m., stayed on the line through noon, and never touched the microwave or the vending machine. While others sat with sandwiches and leftovers, Ben kept busy, repacking damaged boxes, checking the delivery log, or sweeping the back dock. Some folks thought he was just extra serious. Others thought maybe he had no appetite. A few joked behind his back. "What's he running on, air? Bet he's got a secret fridge somewhere. Maybe he just hates us all." No one really knew. Until one day, someone opened his locker. The warehouse was a big cold place. Pallets stacked high, forklifts buzzing, heavy boots echoing down long aisles. Lunch break was sacred. It was the only time people slowed down, sat in circles, told stories, shared snacks, or napped with arms crossed. But not Ben. He stayed on his feet. He nodded when spoken to, smiled politely, and went right back to work. "Does he even eat?" one coworker whispered once. But nobody asked Ben directly. Because he was quiet. And people don't always look closely at quiet. It happened on a Tuesday, the kind of regular day where nothing seemed special. Ben had left early, said he had to meet someone at the clinic. He never explained further, and no one pushed. But that afternoon, one of the younger workers, Jared, had a problem. His locker jammed. He looked around for an extra. The only open one was Ben's. He knew it was a long shot, but he figured he could borrow the space for just a minute. He pulled on the door. To his surprise, it opened. And what he saw inside stopped him cold. Inside Ben's locker, stacked neatly, were rows of paper bags. Each one had a name written on it in marker: Lena, Miles, Jordan, Sam, Ava. There were plastic containers with homemade sandwiches, fruit cups, little zip bags of cereal, and dried snacks. Each bag was carefully labeled. Some had sticky notes with smiley faces, or silly jokes.
"Why did the cookie go to the doctor?"
Because it felt crumby. At the bottom of the locker, there were books too, children's books, dog-eared but clean. Jared didn't move. He just stared. This wasn't someone's lunch stash. This was something else. The next morning, Jared asked Ben about the bags. Quietly, respectfully, they stood near the back dock, the morning sun rising behind them.
"Hey,
"I saw the food in your locker yesterday. I hope it's okay to ask, who's it for?"
hit."
Ben looked down for a moment, then back up. His voice was soft. "There's a shelter over on Maple Street. For families. Kids mostly. Some of them come in hungry. Some leave without breakfast the next day." He paused. "I drop these off on my way home. I make them at night. Been doing it for a while." Jared blinked. "You've been bringing all that food, every day, with your own money?" Ben shrugged. "They don't eat unless someone shows up with food. I figured. I'm someone." Ben didn't have much himself. He lived in a small apartment, above a laundromat. No car, took the bus, shopped in bulk, but every Sunday, he cooked. Big pots of rice and beans, chicken thighs, boiled eggs, apples sliced and soaked in lemon water, so they wouldn't brown. He packed 20 lunches each week, sometimes more, labeled each one, made sure every bag had protein, fruit, and something fun: a drawing, a sticker, a joke. He never told anyone, because he didn't need to be seen. He just needed those kids to eat. Jared told the others at work. Not to gossip, but because it mattered. The next day, Ben showed up and found his locker full, but not with food. With thank you notes, with a fresh box of sandwich bags, a stack of grocery gift cards, and a simple note taped to the inside of the door: "You feed them. Let us feed this mission." At first, it was just a whisper. A few co-workers saw what was inside Ben's locker. They didn't say anything out loud, not right away. But by the next week, more people knew. The warehouse manager heard the story. He pulled Ben aside in the break room, his voice soft. "I had no idea," he said. "You've been doing this for how long?" Ben didn't blink. 2 years, he answered. That was all he said. No bragging, no pride, just the truth. 2 days later, someone from corporate reached out. Then a rep from regional headquarters called the floor supervisor. We want to know what kind of man skips his own lunch just to make sure a kid out there gets to eat. And within a week, a reporter from the local news station showed up outside the warehouse, camera crew in tow. They asked for a full interview. Ben shook his head. No camera, he said. But I'll give you a line. So, under the gray sky, standing next to a loading dock, Ben spoke only once. It's not about being a hero, it's just about showing up for people who need it. That was it. One sentence. But that one sentence caught fire. It was printed on flyers across the city. Churches pinned it on bulletin boards. Grocery stores taped it near checkout lanes. High school students reposted it on social media with the hashtag #BenFeedsHope. Donations began to pour in. A local bakery started sending in leftover bagels and muffins. A retired teacher offered to help write notes to go in each lunch bag. Messages like, "You're stronger than today. This sandwich is made with care, because you matter." Volunteers began signing up to pack meals before work and after shifts. What had started as one man, one locker, one bag of food, now filled an entire pantry at the local family shelter. They had to clear out an old storage room just to fit the donations. The shelter director, Miss Lana, said in an interview, "We've never seen this much food, this much love, come through our doors before, all because someone quietly decided no child should go to bed hungry." And Ben, he never missed a day, still came in on time, still punched the clock, still swept the back dock. But now, during lunch, he sat at a table with others. Someone always slid him a granola bar. Someone always said, "Thanks for what you're doing." And sometimes, Ben smiled back, not because he wanted attention, but because he finally knew something. His quiet work had become something loud. Loud with love, loud with action, loud in the best kind of way. Ben's locker doesn't look very different from the outside. Still the same dull gray, still scratched paint around the handle. But when you open it now, it's not just a shelf and a hanger anymore. It's a kind of mission station. There are rows of brown paper bags, each labeled in neat handwriting. Next to them, a box of small juice cartons. Beside that, an envelope marked meal notes. Kind words go in, courage comes out, and tucked near the back wall, a small list with names, not of employees, but of kids. First names only, ages, food allergies, favorite snacks. The lunch crew knows who prefers grape jelly over strawberry. Who needs an extra protein bar on Fridays? Who doesn't like raisins? Because kindness, when done right, remembers details. What started in secret is now a shared rhythm. People rotate who brings what. Some bring peanut butter, others bring plastic spoons. One guy named Rob buys fruit pouches by the crate, even though he has no kids of his own. They don't post pictures, they don't ask for thanks, they just keep showing up, like Ben taught them. And above Ben's locker, someone hammered in a small wooden sign. It's not fancy, just a smooth piece of oak, hand-carved, with a short message burned into the grain. He didn't eat lunch, he served it instead, and taught us all what it means to feed the world, one bag at a time. In honor of Ben Rivera. It's the kind of sign most people pass by on busy days. But every now and then, someone stops to read it. A new hire, a temp worker, a driver just passing through. And when they ask, "Who's Ben Rivera?" someone always smiles and says, "Come sit down. Let me tell you about him." They thought he skipped lunch, but he was packing meals for those who needed it most. Because some heroes don't wear capes, they wear work boots, carry lunch bags, and give quietly until the world finally takes notice.